You've probably met someone who seems completely normal, quiet, maybe even a little awkward, but there's something about them that feels different, not louder, not more confident, just deeper. And here's the strange part. Most people think intelligence is obvious. They imagine someone who talks fast, dominates conversations, or constantly proves how smart they are. But psychology suggests something very different. In reality, highly intelligent people often hide in plain sight. Their behavior doesn't scream genius, it whispers it. And once you start noticing these patterns, you can't unsee them. One of the most overlooked signs is how comfortable they are being alone. Not because they dislike people, but because their mind is constantly active. Silence isn't empty for them. It's full of thoughts, ideas, and internal conversations. Another subtle trait is how they respond to questions. Instead of rushing to answer, they pause. They think. Sometimes they even say, "I don't know." And that's not weakness. That's awareness. Because truly intelligent people understand how much they don't know. There's also something unusual about the way they think during conversations. While others are focused on speaking, they're observing, they notice tone, body language, hidden meaning. It's like they're reading between the lines of reality. And then there's overthinking. Most people see overthinking as a problem. But in many cases, it's actually a byproduct of a brain that refuses to accept simple answers. They replay situations, analyze possibilities, and imagine outcomes most people would never even consider. It's not always comfortable, but it is powerful. You might also notice that highly intelligent people often talk to themselves, quietly, subtly, almost like they're organizing their thoughts out loud. Psychologists call this self-directed speech, and it's closely linked to focus and cognitive control. It's the brain thinking in real time. Another interesting pattern is curiosity. Not just big philosophical curiosity, but small, constant questions about everyday life. Why do people act this way? Why does this system work like that? What's behind this behavior? Their mind is always searching for patterns. And perhaps one of the most misunderstood traits is their ability to change their mind. Most people see changing opinions as inconsistency, but highly intelligent individuals treat beliefs like flexible models. When new evidence appears, they update. No ego, just adaptation. You may also notice that they often have a subtle sense of humor, not always loud or obvious, but sharp. Because humor at its core is pattern recognition. It's about connecting unexpected ideas and breaking expectations. And that requires a certain level of cognitive complexity. Another sign is how they deal with social situations. They don't always try to be the center of attention. In fact, they often prefer staying in the background, watching, understanding, learning, because for them every interaction is data. And then there's something deeper, a constant search for meaning. Highly intelligent people often think about things most people ignore: purpose, identity, human behavior, the patterns behind everyday life. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a quiet question in the back of their mind. Why do people think the way they do? Why do I think the way I do? And maybe that's the biggest difference of all. Intelligence isn't about showing off knowledge. It's about never stopping the search for understanding.